Hello, everyone. This is the Board Game Lawyer, and today I'm going to play some Marvel Champions, the living card game from Fantasy Flight Games. So, this is game 3 of my Rise of Red Skull campaign. I did record games 1 and 2. You can find both of those on my YouTube channel. Now, so far, I'm having a lot of fun with this campaign, but I did establish a criteria to make the campaign just a little bit more challenging for me and just a little bit more limited. So here's what I did. I placed a build restriction upon myself, meaning that I can only use cards from the core set and from the campaign box, The Rise of Red Skull. So the question is, can you do well and can you still have fun if you own just those two sets? Well, if you own those two sets, there's 7 heroes that you can pick from. And so I selected Spider-Woman for this run-through of this campaign. Now, since I'm using Spider-Woman, I also decided to use an additional build restriction, and that is not to use the same combination of aspects twice throughout the campaign. Now, here's what that means. So, Jessica Drew is a double agent, and her ability says that she can choose 2 aspects instead of 1 during deck building. You must include an equal number of cards from those aspects in your deck. So let's take a look at my campaign log. I wrote on the back side of my campaign log which combination of aspects I've already used. And so in game 1, I used aggression and leadership. Game 2, I used aggression and protection. Game 3, I used protection and justice. And so we're not duplicating the same combination as we go through all 5 games of this campaign. So let's begin by looking at the campaign instructions. So where we ended last time, we had just finished game 2, and so we defeated the Absorbing Man. So the Avengers were going back to the Avengers Tower only to run into the Taskmaster. So our setup for scenario 3 reads, with Absorbing Man in shield custody and Madam Hydra in the wind, you are flying back to Avengers Tower to plan your next move when all reality is changed in the flash of a yellow light. When you reach New York City, you are shocked to find Avengers Tower emblazoned with the Hydra banner. But before you can process what has happened, an explosion rocks your Quinjet and you crash land in the city. On the ground, you find that all of New York is under Hydra rule. Anti-hero propaganda is plastered on every corner and squads of Hydra soldiers patrol the streets. They are led by the notorious Taskmaster, Hydra's new chief of police. He's going door to door, hunting down heroes and locking them up. He fired the surface-to-air missile that brought you down, and now he's searching for you. So in our villain deck, it tells us to use Taskmaster 1 and 2, which we have right here. It also tells us that for our main scheme that we're to use hunting down heroes, which I also have right here. And then in our encounter deck, it tells us that to use the Taskmaster set, the Hydra Patrol set, the Weapon Master set, and the Standard set, all of which I have shuffled into my deck already. So for our additional campaign instructions, it says during setup that each player searches their deck for all cards with the setup keyword and puts them into play. So our setup card is Basic Thwart Upgrade, is a permanent setup. It says that I get +2 hit points and my hero gets +1 thwart. So that's my permanent. Let's see, search for deck with the setup keyword. So that's the setup keyword. So I put that into play, and then I'm also to shuffle the experimental attachment recorded in campaign log into the encounter deck. So here is my campaign log, and you'll notice that I have energy shield and laser rifle, which I have right here, and I'll go ahead and shuffle both of these into my encounter deck. All right, we'll shuffle those up. Now we're playing against Standard Taskmaster today, but we are using the expert campaign log instructions. So there's a few additional things that we're going to read that are found in that gray box. It says, expert campaign only, set each player's hit points to their remaining hit points recorded in the campaign log for the previous scenario. So again, our previous hit points were 11. So she ended the game at full strength, because that's what Jessica Drew has. So we'll set her at 11. Actually, she's at 13 because she has +2 hit points for the basic thwart upgrade. So we have 13 hit points that we're going to begin the game with today. And then the only other instruction says here in our expert campaign only rules is each player may add 1 random obligation from their expert campaign set to their deck to heal their identity to its full hit point value. We're already at full hit points, so we don't have to worry about that today. So we won't read any more out of our book today unless we are victorious. So let's take a look at our Taskmaster. So Taskmaster reads, forced response. After a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on the card. That is a forced response that he has built into his card. He has a scheme of 1, an attack of 1, and he comes into play with 13 hit points on him. So let me grab those. All right. And then we take a look at our main scheme. It is entitled Hunting Down Heroes. We've already got our contents in our deck. There's an additional setup here. It says set each captive ally aside, out of play. Search the encounter deck for Hydra Patrol and put it into play. Shuffle the encounter deck. So here are our captive allies. We have Elektra, White Tiger, Moon Knight, and Shang-Chi. These are our captive allies. We'll shuffle those together and we'll put those out of play for now. We'll also bring in Hydra Patrol. It has a crisis icon on it, and it has a when defeated ability. It says when defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play. Engage with them. Shuffle the encounter deck, and it comes into play with 2 threat on it. Okay, there's 2 threat on the Hydra Patrol. We'll flip over Hunting Down Heroes. It has a forced response. It says, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. If the stage is completed, the players lose the game. So it's completed at 12, comes into play with 1 threat on it, and that forced response happens if I'm in hero form. So the only other thing I have left to do, I believe, is to draw up my hand size of 6, and we can begin playing. So we draw the Power of Protection, we draw Self-Propelled Glide, clear the area. We also have a Captain Marvel card, a For Justice card, and Contaminant Immunity. Those are our 6 cards to begin our turn. Let's take a look at the top card, because I have action here. Look at the top card of any deck. Let's take a look at the top card of our encounter deck. It has 1 boost icon on it. That's important for Taskmaster's forced response. Okay. So, how about we do this? Why don't we flip over to Jessica Drew to her Spider-Woman side, and we'll take a look at her text. She has a superhuman agility interrupt. When you play an aspect card, Spider-Woman gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense until the end of the round. So we did flip, so we'll draw that encounter card and we'll do 1 damage to Spider-Woman. Okay. Then we can play Contaminant Immunity using the Power of Protection to heal 3 damage and give Spider-Woman a tough card. That might be a good way to go, or we could let's see, 4 resources to put down Captain Marvel. Let's see. Probably should have mulliganed off Captain Marvel, but we won't. We'll use her to clear the area. We're going to spend Captain Marvel to clear the area. So that is a justice aspect, and it says remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on the scheme, draw a card. So yeah, we'll use that to discard the Hydra Patrol. We'll mark Spider-Woman that she's played a Justice card this turn with a yellow marker here. And then we'll go look for a Hydra minion and put it into play. Let's see which one we want. Well, right there on the bottom of the deck is a Hydra regular, and I think that's the guy that I would go look for. He has an Insight of 1, which means when this card is revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. It's not revealed, it's put into play, so we don't put any threat on the main scheme by putting the Hydra regular out. Now we will recall that we played Clear the Area. So we'll get to draw an additional card, and we draw Jessica Jones. So, tell you what, why don't we do this? Why don't we play the Contaminant Immunity? Yeah, we'll do that. Play a Contaminant Immunity using the Power of Protection to give Spider-Woman a tough card, and that's going to heal her up to 13. So she's back up to full strength. And that was a protection card, so we'll mark her with a green marker. And then we will, let's see, we will attack the Hydra regular, and that will do him in because we have an attack of 3. We have the self-propelled glide, so we'll spend our 4 Justice card to play that one to ready Spider-Woman and give her the aerial trait. So she's readied, and then she's going to do 3 damage to the Taskmaster. Knocks him down to 10. We'll keep Jessica Jones. And we'll draw 4 more cards. Counterpunch, the Power of Protection, Daredevil, and Clear the Area. All right, so we'll ready Spider-Woman. Taskmaster begins his turn, and he does so by placing 1 threat on the main scheme. And then he's also going to add another threat because of that forced response. I am in hero form. So he's going to attack Spider-Woman. He does so with 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 damage, knocks that tough card off. And then we'll draw our encounter card, which is a combat knife attached to the villain. Attached villain gains piercing. Spend a mental and a physical resource to discard this card. All right, so now then, we have the Daredevil. Daredevil says, after Daredevil thwarts, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Let's clear our Spider-Woman. If we put him out for 4. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put Daredevil out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to remove, so that's a Justice card. So place 1 Justice marker on Spider-Woman. Daredevil is going to thwart for 2. Remove 2 from our dropping things on the floor. Remove 2 threat from hunting down heroes. We place 1 consequential damage onto Daredevil, and he's going to do 1 damage to Taskmaster. So it takes him down to 9. Spider-Woman can attack Taskmaster, so I think she will. She'll do it for 2. 2 damage on the Taskmaster. Takes him down to 7. And we'll flip over to our alter ego form. And we'll take a look at the top card of our encounter deck. So the top card of our encounter deck has 2 boost icons on it. We'll ready Jessica Drew, ready Daredevil, and we'll draw up our hand size of 6. So we have Counterpunch. We draw Finesse. The Genius card, Black Widow, Pheromones, and Inconspicuous. So place 1 threat on the main scheme. Well, we're not in hero form, so we don't have to do the forced response, but Taskmaster's going to scheme, and we'll recall that we looked at a 2 earlier. So he's going to add 3 threat. 3 threat to the main scheme. Then we draw our encounter card, and it is a laser rifle. So he has a combat knife and a laser rifle now. When the villain attacks, attack gains ranged. Okay. So now he's +1/+1 and with a base of 2. So his attacks are getting higher. All right. So Jessica Drew, let's take a look at the top card of the encounter deck, and it is Taskmaster's Sword. 3 boost icons. So if I flip over to my hero side, I'll have to do 3 damage to myself. But we may do that. Tell you what. Let's see. After your hero defends, it's not an attack. It's a forced response. Yeah, let's do it. Let's flip over. Let's flip over to our hero side. We'll do the 3 damage. So that's going to take us down to 10. Takes us down to 10. And then we will play the finesse card using the genius card to put finesse onto the table. I can exhaust finesse to generate a wild resource for an aspect card. And I think what I'll do, though, is... Yeah, we'll do this. We're going to attack with we'll remove 2 threat with the Daredevil, doing 1 damage to the Taskmaster. And then we will play Inconspicuous, remove a total of 3 threat from among schemes in play. The Justice card, we'll exhaust our finesse to play that, to get those 3 threat off of our main scheme. And then we'll spin these 2 cards, Black Widow and Counterpunch, to play Pheromones. And we'll place a Stun and Confuse onto the Taskmaster. So piercing and ranged. Taskmaster is stunned and confused, and then we will exhaust Spider-Woman to do 3 damage to Taskmaster. Takes him down to 3. So we placed another consequential damage onto Daredevil. Spider-Woman is going to ready. We'll ready her finesse card, and we'll draw up our hand size of 5. So we have another finesse, self-propelled glide, Luke Cage, 4 justice, and inconspicuous. All right. So we'll place 1 threat on hunting down heroes. We'll place another threat there for our forced response because we are in hero form. Taskmaster is going to attack, but not because he is stunned. And then we'll draw our encounter card, which is the win reveal. The villain and each minion engage with you attacks you. So, let's see if we have anything to respond with. I don't. So Daredevil's going to jump right out in front of that. And we draw a star, a special boost icon. If you are in hero form, take 1 damage. Otherwise, place 1 threat on the main scheme. Well, we are in hero form, so we'll take the 1 damage. And Daredevil is defeated because of the gang up. All right. So next turn, I can play. Let's clear our markers here. I could play Luke Cage. Inconspicuous, finesse. So those 2. For justice, remove 3 threat from a scheme. 4 if you paid for this using a mental resource. I can't clear either one of these because I don't have any physical resources in my hand. So let's put down the finesse card. We'll use self-propelled glide and Luke Cage. To put down finesse. And we will exhaust. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll exhaust both of those to play the 4 justice card. Remove 3 threat from a scheme if you paid for this using a mental resource. So 4. So we'll move the 2 off. We'll mark ourselves with a justice card, and we will do 2 damage to Taskmaster. Attack for 2. We'll flip over to our alter ego form. We'll take a look at the top card of the deck over here, Assault. And that we'll discard Inconspicuous to end our turn. We'll ready Jessica Drew. We'll ready both of the finesse cards. And we'll draw up our hand size of 6. So we have Mockingbird, Med Team, Self-Propelled Glide, Venom Blast, Strength, and Pheromones. Okay. So Taskmaster is going to add 1 threat to hunting down heroes. He's confused, so he's not going to scheme. We draw a card. Assault. We are in alter ego form, so this card gains Surge. And now we draw Photographic Reflexes. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead. Then discard Photographic Reflexes, max 1 per attack. Okay, so now he has another attachment. And so here we are. Mockingbird. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to look at the top card of our encounter deck, which is a 3. On the boost. So what we'll do is we'll heal for 3. 1, 2, 3. Puts Jessica Drew up to 12. And then we will flip to our hero side. We'll have to do 3 damage again because of the forced response on Taskmaster, so that'll put her back down to 9. Mockingbird comes into play. We'll spend 1. We'll spend the Med Team and the Strength card to put Mockingbird into play. After Mockingbird enters play, stun an enemy. So the Taskmaster is stunned. Mockingbird is going to attack Taskmaster for 1 damage. Nope, it won't do damage. It's going to deflect because of the Photographic Reflexes, but it does remove Photographic Reflexes, and we do the 1 damage instead to Spider-Woman, so that knocks her down to 8. And then we'll play the Venom Blast. Yeah, we'll do the Venom Blast. So we'll use our 2 finesse cards to play the Venom Blast. No, we don't want to do that. No, we don't want to do that yet. I don't think. Let's leave those upright. Let's do this instead. We'll play Self-Propelled Glide to ready Spider-Woman. She's going to attack Taskmaster, and that will knock him all the way down to 0. And so stage 1 of Taskmaster is defeated. Stage 2 comes into play with 16 hit points on him. And now we'll use our 2 finesse cards to play the Venom Blast onto Taskmaster, and that will knock him down to 11. 11 health. So we'll ready Mockingbird. She did take 1 consequential damage. We'll ready our Spider-Woman. We'll ready both of our upgrades. And we'll draw our hand size of 5. So we have a Skilled Investigator, Jessica Drew's apartment, Clear the Area, Spider-Man, and a Venom Blast. All right, so placing 1 threat, actually 2 on hunting down heroes. Instead of taking damage ourselves, we will place 2 threat on hunting down heroes. Taskmaster is going to attack, but he's stunned. And we draw our encounter card, which is Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. And we have to get rid of one of our finesse cards. All right. Spider-Man. We have a Venom Blast. Mockingbird and Spider-Woman can attack. So, tell you what. Spider-Man can come into play. Can't remove any threat from a side scheme, but it would give us an additional body on the table, or we could just do the 5 damage, clear the area. Let's do this. We're going to, with Mockingbird, get rid of 1 threat from our main scheme. And then we'll play the Clear the Area card using Finesse to remove 2 more threat from the scheme, which will allow us to draw an additional card. And our additional card is Energy. So we can still put Spider-Man on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 resources to put Spider-Man out. He's not really going to be able to use his response since there's no threat on a side scheme right now. If we use Venom Blast, using the energy card, we could put Skilled Investigator on the table. That'll give us additional hit. So, I'll tell you what, let's do the Venom Blast. We'll, with our energy card, we'll do 5 damage to the Taskmaster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did play Clear the Area earlier, so we played a Justice card. Now we've played an Aggression card. And then we can put Skilled Investigator on the table. And we'll spend 1 resource to put Jessica Drew's apartment on the table. Spider-Woman will attack Taskmaster for 3. 1, 2, 3. Knocks him down to 3. And that will end our turn. We'll ready Spider-Woman. Ready everything. We'll draw up our hand size of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have Contaminant Immunity, Med Team, another Med Team, 4 Justice, and Nick Fury. So Taskmaster, we're going to place 2 threat onto hunting down heroes. Taskmaster is going to attack. We'll attack Mockingbird for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Mockingbird is defeated. And then we'll draw our encounter card, which is Shadows of the Past. When revealed, reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion and put it into play, engage with you. Reveal your set-aside Nemesis side scheme and put it also into play. Shuffle the rest of your set-aside Nemesis encounter deck. So, we're going to do this. We know how it works. Viper's coming into play. While Viper is engaged with you, your hand size is reduced by 1. She has Viper's Ambition. When revealed, place an additional 1 threat here. So that'll give us another encounter card on our next turn, and we'll shuffle the Hydra regulars and Hail Hydra into our deck. We'll place 3 threat here. Viper's on the table. Your hand size is reduced by 1. Shuffle our encounter deck, and that ends Taskmaster's turn. So we could play Contaminant Immunity, heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman, and give her a tough status card. Yeah, let's do that. Let's clear this. We're going to play Contaminant Immunity. We're going to spend 1 resource and the Med Team to heal 3 damage. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Brings her back up to her original health, and she gets a tough card. So she played a protection card, and then we'll also play 4 Justice to remove 3 threat, actually 4 threat from a scheme. So we'll remove 4 threat from the Viper's Ambition. Clear that off. And so that's a Justice card, yellow marker. So for 3 damage, we can now attack Taskmaster, which will bring him all the way down to 0. And so Spider-Woman has defeated Taskmaster. I had a Skill Investigator card too that I could have drew a card. Let's see what I could have drawn. It was just an armored vest, and I would have gotten an additional encounter card for that. But Spider-Woman has defeated the Taskmaster. The downside is that I didn't get to rescue any of my captives here, which is really what you want to do when you play against Taskmaster. And going forward, that might make the game a little bit more of a challenge later. And so, since we won our game today, we're going to look at our campaign instructions and see what we can do to add to our deck, if anything. So here we are. It says, "What's going on, Taskmaster? How did Hydra conquer New York City? It's not just New York, babe. Hydra rules all of America now. Madam Hydra brought Zola the Reality Stone. Then the Doctor used its power to put Hydra in charge. Where is Zola now? He has set up shop on Ellis Island. Rumor has it he's doing weird experiments there, trying to develop the perfect soldiers for Hydra. I've heard enough. Let's go get him." All right, so that will conclude our scenario number 3 for Taskmaster. Let's look at our victory conditions. It says that each player who rescued 1 or more allies from the Taskmaster encounter set adds those allies to their deck and records their names in the campaign log. Well, we didn't rescue anybody, so there's nothing to add to the campaign log. And then the expert campaign only rules say record each identity's remaining hit points in the campaign log, as well as any rules or any cards added to their deck. All right. So, in our campaign log, we will not add any rescued allies. And we are at 11 hit points, so that's how we'll end our game. So, thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next time to see where our campaign goes from here. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you're enjoying my playthrough videos. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can shoot me an email at boardgamelawyer@gmail.com. I would like to thank you again for watching today. I hope that you have a great week, and I also hope to be able to bring you another video again very soon.